Welcome to Tabletop Battle Adventures, D-Day, 11:30 hours, Turn 23. This is the introduction video. Here's Carentan, held by the 6th Fallschirmjäger, 1 platoon. Go over the positions. Major Vonderheit, commander, 6th Fallschirmjäger, is positioned in this tower, 2nd floor. His radio operator is in the top of the tower. Medium mortar in the courtyard. Medium machine gun, 2nd floor of this building behind the window. Forward observer. All of these units are going to be 6th Fallschirmjäger until I mention that we're moving on to the next German unit. 3rd section, leader, starting on ambush. Inside of this building here, one of 3rd section's LMG teams in the attic. Over on the other side of Carentan, Third section assistant leader just fell back away from the bridge since the 506 potentially have a artillery strike coming in on this bridge. And 3rd section, 2 soldiers with rifles positioned behind the wall. They also just fell back away from the bridge. Inside of this building, 6th Fallschirmjäger's Panzerschreck team and 3rd section LMG team. And that is all the units that are inside of Carentan. Or at least on Carentan's side of the river. Both bridges' main objectives are in 6th Fallschirmjäger's hands. 1st section, soldier, 1 wounded, bleeding out in 3 turns, and he can be saved on a roll of 5. After each attempt, it'll go down. If his buddy there fails to save him this turn, it'll be on a 4 the next attempt. That's what the white D6 is for. The brown D6s represent the grenades held by the Germans, and the green D6s next to the U.S. soldiers represent the grenades held by U.S. forces. First section leader will be positioned here, and 1st section LMG team with just the gunners still in the fight, and 506 medium mortar is hitting on a 2 on this position. Platoon sergeant working his way over to get into Sergeant Ronald's half track. Second section LMG team in the road here. 2nd section, 2 soldiers with assault rifles, Panzerfausts. 2nd section's other LMG team, and 2nd section leader starting on ambush. And that just past him is the river lock, another main objective. The river lock is open, and it has been for the whole battle, and is flooding through the destroyed bridge. All of these green fields are flooded. Infantry advance, no run, no vehicles. Once the river lock is closed, it'll be D3 turns until the fields can be, they will no longer be flooded. The brown fields are not flooded. And also these areas with both grass and dirt are not flooded. hedgerows block line of sight, unless the hedgerow is along a wall, and then it does not block line of sight. Continue to go over the 6 Fallschirmjäger positions first. Another wounded 6 Fallschirmjäger soldier here from first section, bleeding out in this turn, the end of this turn. 6 Fallschirmjäger's platoon leader, first lieutenant, with his messenger and attack dog. Oh, by the way, when the soldiers are killed, their grenades stay next to the body, on the body, until they're picked up and used, or the battle ends. There's some other 6 Fallschirmjäger units still in the fight. 6 Fallschirmjäger here has their 3 forward observers, and then just past them is the medic. And we'll go over to the other side of the battlefield to look at the other 6 Fallschirmjäger soldiers. Third section, 2 soldiers with rifles. And the flamethrower team. That's all of 6 Fallschirmjäger that's still in the fight. They took 1 KIA last turn and 10 overall, so they're still very much intact compared to other platoons. Currently, obviously they're holding on to Carentan. It's their main objective, along with the bridges and the river lock. And the reason they're moving out here into the road is there's a 506 soldier right there from 2nd Squad, and he is soon going to make a dash across the road, because this road is critical. If the 506 can get that soldier or another soldier that's nearby across that road, then the U.S. forces will be able to bring their reinforcements, Turn 25, in on this road. So any battlefield edge that's controlled by U.S. forces, currently it's from the soldier I just mentioned, and the 506 control all the way down to the end of that battlefield edge, all the way down to this end, and then also all the way to this hedgerow, where there's a few survivors from the left flank that you can see all the dead bodies lying through the field. And 506 was able to push all the way up to here on their way to the river lock and to the bridge on the left, but the Puma counterattacked, and even though there's no German infantry, well, I mean, the closest would be these flamethrower team here, or these soldiers here, but their attack was stopped when the Puma counterattacked, and they've been pushed back. So the U.S. forces will be a company of armor and a couple of platoons of infantry. The Germans currently, from the Puma, control this battlefield edge all the way, including this road here, all of Carentan. So their reinforcements, 1 company of armor from Panzerlehr, and remnants of survivors from the 916th Grenadiers that are going to be fleeing Omaha Beach. And the Germans at this point would be able to reinforce Turn 25 all the way up to the river's edge, but unless the Germans can take control of this road, they won't be able to bring in any reinforcements on this road. So pretty critical for both sides. So that's why the Germans are moving out into this road from their hard cover positions. They want to have line of sight, so when that 506 soldier makes a dash across the road, they can light him up. Sergeant Ronald's half-track. Well, I guess we'll go over 100th Panzer now. So the 100th Panzer has 2 armored vehicles left. Sergeant Ronald's half-track, he's the only survivor just driving. His crew's been wiped out. So we're going to have some Germans jump in the back and man those guns and counterattack and take control of that road so that U.S. forces can't bring any reinforcements in on that side. 100th Panzer's platoon leader, First Lieutenant Eulander. holding down the right flank all alone. Not surprised. And earlier in the fight, way earlier in the fight, Sergeant Gerald's half-track was knocked out. So the 100th Panzer took no new destroyed vehicles last turn, no new casualties, and that's where they're currently located. As for the 1058 Grenadiers, took no new casualties last turn, 29 overall in the fight, and there's one wounded 1058 Grenadier soldier bleeding out in 4 turns, and that's the 1st section leader, Sergeant here, bleeding out. And other soldiers from 1058 still in the fight are going to be here in their headquarters. Got the 3rd section assistant leader on the balcony. Inside, 3rd section LMG gunner in the window. 1058 Grenadier sniper starting on ambush. We've got the other 3rd section LMG gunner in the window, and platoon commander, 1st Lieutenant Kreutner, and his radio operator. The Lieutenant Kreutner called in a... Oh no, you know what? It wasn't him. Let me go back to 6 Fallschirmjäger for a moment. It was actually this forward observer here who called in an artillery strike on this building. And to be exact, he called it in on the window right there. So before we get to the first dice of this turn, we will be addressing artillery strikes. First artillery strike will actually be the artillery strike that was called in, I think, 2 or 3 turns ago by 506 Platoon Commander Captain Carey, center screen. And he's been calling in, he's been trying to get artillery strike on this bridge that already has 14 damage, and it can take 36 damage in total before it's destroyed. Same thing with this bridge here. You'll notice by some buildings that have taken damage, for example, the 1058 Grenadiers headquarters has 11 damage so far. So first thing we'll do before the first dice is address the 506 artillery strike on the bridge, and after that we will address the forward observer from 6 Fallschirmjäger's artillery strike on the building, which could end the 506 hopes for getting across that bridge. But also, the artillery strike could be devastating over here against the Germans as well. So the 1058 Grenadiers, with the 29 KIA they've taken in this fight, besides the 1 wounded soldier here, we've got only 6 survivors from 1058 in this fight. It has been a hell of a fight. I don't know if anybody who's watching this has followed along since the beginning. Probably not. It's the longest game battle I've ever played. Oh, not true. I played a modern bolt action once that was 24 turns, so we're almost there. And then, let's see. So the Germans hold all objectives on this battlefield. And now we'll move on to the 506. So like I mentioned, the 506 here, we have the platoon leader, 1st Lieutenant Corey. Some pin markers starting out. 1st Squad LMG team. And 1st Squad assistant leader in the hedgerow. Those are the 4 survivors that have pretty much made it to safety. And then there's 1 wounded soldier from the 506 2nd MMG team. He's bleeding out at the end of this turn. And then the gunner is still alive in the fight. They're going to have to get lucky and get that first order dice before the Puma sends them to the afterlife. As for the 506, there's also 1 survivor from the 57mm AT gun. And I mentioned last turn that the gun was knocked out, but actually I don't think it is. So somebody could man that gun again. But this man's still dealing with, I think, 4 pin markers right now. 2 pin markers. So he's still in the fight, though. And then we have the medium. This is all 506 till I mention otherwise. Medium mortar needs a new target this turn. And the light mortar I already mentioned. hitting on a 2 on the LMG gunner for the 6 Fallschirmjäger. The medium mortar for the 6 Fallschirmjäger located in the courtyard of the church. They're also hitting on a 2 against the M5 3-inch AT gun. One soldier, the loader, bleeding out 2 turns, and the commander still in the fight. The gun's still intact also. Over here we have the 3rd Squad BAR soldier, still in the fight. Had to fall back, was trying to push him forward, but there's too much firepower against the 506 currently. And then here in the center also 2nd Squad LMG team, center screen. This is 3rd Squad assistant leader, Sergeant Brandon, and the radio operator for the 506th commander, Colonel Sink, who was killed. There's his body in the hedgerow. And 506 have taken massive losses, but they had to make it to the bridges, which they're so close. And also not just the bridges, but taking possession of this road is critical for the U.S. forces to be able to bring in their armor and infantry reinforcements to rescue the 506 and take Carentan is eventually the goal. Currently, after Colonel Sink was killed, so now platoon commander Captain Carey, center screen, is the commander on the battlefield. He's got a couple pin markers to deal with. Spin over here. Got 2nd Squad leader, Sergeant Braden. And 2nd Squad LMG gunner, center screen. Flamethrower team. 3rd Squad soldier with SMG. 3rd Squad soldier with the BAR. And that 2nd Squad soldier that's soon to make the dash across the road. They can just take possession of this road, but artillery strike and these Germans might be able to stop them. Now the 506 last turn, they took 2 new KIA, and they have 45 KIA overall in the fight, and the 2 wounded soldiers that I already showed. 2 wounded soldiers? Oh yes, the M5 3-inch AT gun crew member. Yes, and the 2nd MMG gunner. So yeah, hell of a fight here in the hedgerows. 506 just have to hold on till the end of turn 24. Turn 25 will have U.S. Reinforcements and German reinforcements on the way. Oh yeah, such an epic fight. I don't think I missed anybody. Yeah. We'll show the company of German armor that will be arriving turn 25. Oh. King Tiger, 2 Tigers, Flame Panzer, Nebelwolfer half-track, 2 Panthers, 2 Panzer IVs, Wirbelwind, Stug 3, and 2 half-tracks. And then this is just some of the U.S. reinforcements that are, which one of my personal favorites here. I forget what it's called, but it's got the, I forget. I'll mention it next video. But yeah, nasty reinforcements coming. The U.S. reinforcements look nasty too. And we're moving over to Omaha Beach, where we'll start with the Germans. The 916 Grenadiers, 1st and 2nd Platoon, have no defenders left on this right flank. They are all in the afterlife, buried in the rubble, dead in the buildings, dead in the trenches. Especially over here in this section, they just got devastated. So the only 2 survivors that are on this battlefield are the 916 Grenadiers, 2nd Platoon, first section LMG team here. And then this is the Germans from the right flank that have already fled the battlefield. Turn 24, the 916th Grenadiers 2nd Platoon Commander, Radio Operator, Messenger will be arriving in hedgerows of Carentan and around Carentan. There'll be a random roll to see where they arrive on the main table, Carentan hedgerows. Turn 25, Turn 25. Oh, so Turn 24, they arrive early, actually. They got off the battlefield early. Turn 25, we have second platoon. This is all 2nd Platoon, actually, that fled the battlefield so far. We have 1st Section Assistant Leader and 2 soldiers with assault rifles. 1st Section Leader, Turn 24, entering the Carentan battlefield. And then the 1st Section LMG team arriving Turn 25. All will arrive random table edges. Probably use the scatter dice. Okay, so that's it. Just these 2 defenders. My daughter asked to take command of the Germans, and she told me that the survivors need to flee the battlefield. I had wanted them to fight to the death, but decided to follow orders. This doesn't really make much difference now, but from the back of this bunker here, which is going to be destroyed, only needs 3 hits to crumble. But the back of the bunker, there's a tunnel entrance. The tunnel goes under the road and then into this building here, which is also 6 hits away from being destroyed, and there's no one left in there alive. Some bodies, but no alive. Also, the end of this trench here, there's a tunnel entrance. It goes under the road and into this ruined building. Irrelevant now, but cool fact, there really were tunnels on Omaha Beach like that. Now on the left flank, let's start down here. We've got the 1 soldier that survived from the 88mm AT gun crew, and he's trying to get off the battlefield, but we got some U.S. forces coming from both ends, so he may not make it off the battlefield. Over here in this bunker, 916th Grenadiers 1st Platoon Sniper starting on ambush, and 1st Platoon's 2nd Section Leader, and 1st Platoon's MMG team. This bunker is only taking 9 damage, still has 27 damage left, so pretty strong still. And right here we have the 916th 2nd Platoon Sergeant, still in the fight. 2nd Platoon 3rd Section LMG Gunner. And from 1st Platoon, the 1st Section Leader, and 2 soldiers with him, all with SMGs. And then inside of the Pac 40 bunker, Pac 40's been destroyed. 916th's 1st Platoon Flamethrower team just got done killing one of the Rangers that stormed the bunker, but the Rangers' 2nd Platoon, 2nd Squad Assistant Leader is still alive and wants some revenge. The 916th Grenadiers 1st Platoon, they had 0. Oh yeah, I'll show you this. So from here you can see the Rangers are about to storm around this end and already storming around this end. So definitely it's over for the 916th defenders, but some of them are going to fight to the death. Some of them are going to flee. So 916th's 1st Platoon, they took no new casualties this past turn, but they have 44 KIA overall. 916th 2nd Platoon, 1 new KIA last turn, and 33 overall in the fight. So the Germans have lost 77 KIA here on Omaha Beach. Let's go over and look at the U.S. forces. This was a fun battlefield to set up. Took me a while. Pretty much all homemade. Let's start with the 116th Infantry, Company A, 1st Platoon. We got their platoon leader just making his way through the breach in the barbed wire. Got the heavy machine gun team, 2 soldiers still in the fight. the MMG team, 2 soldiers still in the fight. This is going to be all 1/16 until I mention that we're switching over. Platoon guide, 3rd Squad's bazooka team, 3rd Squad leader, who he was gonna enter the trench, but failed a landmine check and luckily survived. So the U.S. forces here on Omaha Beach, anytime they want to advance or run, whether that's infantry or vehicles, if they're on the beach or as they cross the road and they get into any light brown, beige colored terrain, they have to take a landmine check. On a roll of a 10 and under, they're good. On above 10, they fail and they step on a landmine or roll on a landmine if it's a vehicle. And on a roll of they take another test. On a roll of a 1, they take a 2-inch HE, if it's infantry, 2-inch HE landmine hit. And if it's a roll of a 2 up, then it's just D3 pins. All right, back to the introduction here. 3rd Squad assistant leader and a BAR soldier. And 3 more 3rd Squad soldiers. It's like 1 more BAR man and 2 riflemen. 2nd Squad's BAR soldier. Got a 2nd Squad soldier working on a wounded comrade who's bleeding out in 3 turns, and he's already been attempted to save once, so that was on a 6 and he failed, but this time it'll be on a 5. That's the white D6. The 1/16th has their sniper here starting on ambush. The way we're destroying the beach obstacles with infantry is they lay explosives on a fire order, and as the next turn, when this 1/16th soldier with the BAR who planted explosives last turn, as he advances this turn away, he will detonate the explosives. 1/16th's forward observer team, center screen. And we got 2nd Squad flamethrower team, the platoon sergeant, messenger, and radio operator. Heavy machine. Oh, no, that's Rangers. So let's not get to them yet. Stay with the 1/16th for now. We've got 1/16th's 1st Squad bazooka team and 1/16th 1st Squad. 1 soldier with the BAR, 1 with the rifle. And then all the way up here, I believe the furthest. This is the U.S. soldier that's the furthest up the battlefield, is the 1st Squad leader. Just made a cut through that barbed wire last turn, making a path. And I think that was the last 1/16th infantry. Let's go over to the second. Oh, let's go over their details. So the 1/16th infantry last turn took 3 new KIA, 27 overall, and they have the 1 wounded soldier I mentioned. We're also able to save 1 soldier last turn. The Germans made no saves last turn, but the 1/16th was able to make 1 save last turn. Now over to the 2nd Rangers. Let's start right here. So we've got the 2nd Rangers, Company C, 1st and 2nd Platoon. I built them as a full historical company. So we've got their medium mortar. And I believe way up here we've got 2nd Rangers, 2nd Platoon Sergeant with the pin markers. 2nd Rangers, 2nd Platoon, 2nd Squad Assistant Leader, 2 Riflemen. 2nd Rangers, 2nd Platoon, 2nd Squad Flamethrower Team. 2nd Platoon, 1st Squad Leader, fully painted soldier on the far left. He's got 1 rifleman with him. Then we've got the assistant squad leader with a LMG team on his right. And then just about to make a cut in the 2nd strand of barbed wire is the 2nd Rangers, 2nd Platoon, 2nd Squad leader. The rest of Second platoon, first squad, they're fully painted. Another assistant squad leader, BAR soldier, and 2 riflemen. First platoon, second squad assistant leader, and a BAR soldier. And first platoon, second squad assistant leader, and 1 rifleman that are just reaching the barbed wire, second string of barbed wire, center screen. I already mentioned the Rangers that have been stormed inside of the bunker. He's going to start out with 2 pin markers. That's from 2nd Ranger, 2nd Platoon, Assistant Leader. We've got the 1st Platoon Sniper. This is all 2nd Rangers. Starting on ambush. Rangers Medic, center screen. And the 1st Platoon Sergeant starting on ambush, which is critical. You'll be able to push these soldiers forward and hopefully pin these Germans down before they can receive an order dice. Also, obviously you want to kill the flamethrower from the 916th in this bunker. Continuing on with the Rangers, we got the 1st Platoon Commander and his radio operator, 1st Lieutenant. And stacked up in front of him along the wall is the 1st Platoon 2nd Squad Leader, 1st Platoon 2nd Squad, that's the rifleman with him. And then there's 1st Platoon 1st Squad Leader. And in the front, we've got the 1st Platoon 1st Squad LMG Gunner and the 1st Squad Assistant Leader with him. He's acting as the loader. We've got the 2nd Squad Bazooka Team from 1st Platoon and 1st Platoon's Assistant Leader and a BAR soldier from 1st Squad. And that was 1st Squad Assistant Leader. Both have the pin markers. You can see the dead piled up. So the 2nd Rangers last turn took the 2nd Rangers 2nd Platoon took 1 more KIA. They only have 9 overall actually in this fight. And the 2nd Rangers 1st Platoon took no new KIA last turn and 10 overall in the fight. And they were able to make 1 save this last turn. I think it was right here actually. The 1st Platoon 1st Squad Assistant Leader was saved by the 2nd Squad Bazooka Team. And then the 743rd Tank Battalion. We'll start over here with the Company 1st Sergeant still in the fight. Company Commander already knocked out, plus the 2nd Platoon Tank knocked out earlier in the fight. We've got a 2nd Platoon Tank here still in the fight. 1st Platoon. 2nd Platoon Leader, who's immobilized, but his turret's still working fine. And then I forget which platoon this originally was a part of. I want to say it was 1st Platoon. But regardless, this M4 Sherman is immobilized by friendly fire from the Crocodile flamethrower tank. And the turret's jammed, but still in the fight, but no longer able to push the beached obstacles out of the way. And that's why I've come up with the infantry being able to destroy the beach obstacles to move them out of the way. And you'll notice a beach obstacle that's fully intact is 2 pieces put together. Once the beach obstacle has been destroyed and can be moved over the top of by the armor, they have a single piece. And just this last turn, the M4 Sherman, the Crocodile flamethrower tank, was destroyed by artillery strike called in by the 916th Grenadiers 1st Platoon Commander, who is now dead. 2nd Platoon T-34 Calliope, a fantastically terrible weapon that did so much damage, probably killed the most Germans here on the beaches and destroyed, for example, this building and the Germans around it. I think 13 Germans were killed in that one barrage. Nasty weapon. And then the 1st Platoon Leader here in his tank. 743rd Tank Battalion has taken 3 destroyed tanks in the fight, and as I mentioned, just the one new destroyed tank. And mention here also there's one order dice in the bag for the Navy, and they're able to fire on the beach once per turn. I don't think I missed anything. So in total, the German forces, we'll go with U.S. forces first. So here on Omaha Beach, and also over in the hedgerows outside of Carentan, the U.S. forces, all platoons combined, armor and infantry, have taken 7 new KIA last turn and 94 KIA overall. Currently have 3 wounded soldiers on the battlefield and have made quite a bit of saves, though. 2 saves last turn and 12 saves overall. And the German forces, armor and infantry between both battlefields, have taken 2 new KIA last turn and 117 KIA in the fight. They have 3 wounded soldiers on the battlefield and were only able to save 3. They only have 3 saves overall in the battle. We have 3 U.S. units starting on ambush, all here on Omaha Beach, and 63 order dice in the bag for the U.S., for a total of 66 order dice still in the fight. They started with 100, so they've taken some losses, 34 order dice. The Germans have 5 units starting on ambush, which is the 1 sniper here on Omaha Beach, and the other 4 are going to be over in the hedgerows and Carentan. And the Germans have 38 order dice in the bag for a total of 43 order dice still in the fight. And they started with, I think, 77, which is interesting because that makes it 34 order dice that have been lost by both U.S. and German forces. I didn't realize that until just now. 11:30 hours, turn 23. It's only 2 turns left before we get to the... And the armor you're seeing here on the beach is going to be... we're going to allow the U.S. forces to have all the 3 destroyed tanks back. So they'll have this entire company of armor reinforcing the hedgerows, Carentan area. And whichever U.S. forces have survived Omaha Beach will also be able to attack the hedgerows and Carentan battlefield. And any Germans that escape the battlefield or Germans still on the battlefield will be allowed to enter the Carentan hedgerows table, but only on a random roll. They don't get to choose where they enter. Where the U.S. forces reinforcing will get to choose any battlefield edge that they control. And the German armor reinforcements will be able to choose any battlefield table edge that they control to enter. But the German survivors from Omaha Beach will have to come in on a random roll. Could go well, could go terrible. I don't think I missed anything, and if I did, well, oh well. So about 3 nights from now, maybe 2, we'll get back to the action, and we'll start with the 506th artillery strike. Hopefully it comes in this turn after, I think, 2 or 3 turns failing on that bridge. And the German defenders, it'd be nice to knock them out before they can stop the soldier from the 2nd squad getting across that road. And after that, an artillery strike will address the 6th Fallschirmjäger Forward Observers artillery strike called in on this building. It's gonna be nasty if artillery strikes come in. Well,
Thanks for watching.